Welcome back to the carport, y'all. Finally, we got some stuff to put on the bike. What's in the box? One second. Well, what's in the box is nope. All right, well, we'll do it the hard way. Shout out to my channel's oldest sponsor, Layma. Oh, wait a minute. Is it like this these days? Yeah, I'm throwing a gang sign. The heart flare. I don't know what. Something the kids do these days. I don't know. Anyway, FXR Legacy Tour Pack from Nasty Hog. That. And a new backrest for my wife. She likes to wrap around. Old school. I believe these are like just traditional Harley knockoffs. Locked. Unlocked. It does have a keyhole. Just little pressed metal keys. All right, so let's get into the installation. Now, it came in a plain brown box right there. And it was wrapped in bubble wrap and cushion paper, whatever. Zero instructions. The backrest was not mounted to the trunk, which is fine because you've got a couple of options here, so they kind of leave it up to you, but no instructions. No template in the box, so you just kind of got to figure this out for yourself. We're just going to cover the whole thing in masking tape and take a bunch of measurements and then measure again and then probably again, and then we're going to drill some holes. So, you know, on the Revzilla beard scale, it's probably like a 3 or 4.
We call it a 2-bearder on our BSD.
Be right back. The staple job wasn't the greatest. We had to trim back some foam. It was kind of poking out like that. Now we're doing a little subterfuge with a black magic marker. Just test fitting it down on there. It looks like it's going to fit pretty good, but there's some small gaps. It'll be all right. Got everything covered in tape. Took a bunch of measurements and we did the old grease trick. Went ahead and mounted the bracket onto the backrest on both sides and the middle. Put a little dab of grease on the back side. Put a couple of layers of tape on there so we can make mistakes. And once we got some marks we were happy with, took a bunch of measurements. Took a bunch of measurements side to side, up and down. Went off of this point, went off of this point, went off of this point, went off here, here, here on both sides until everything looked legit. Now, middle ones, it kept flexing on us. We couldn't get 2 marks up here that we really enjoyed. So we're gonna go ahead and do these 4, drill out these 4, and then come back and do this one without these kind of being in the way. Not that there's much of an eyeball room here. You can kind of look up underneath on these, but this one here is kind of obscured, so we're gonna just wish us luck. We got holes on both sides and we got our holes in the middle. Now we're gonna pull all the tape off of it, clean the holes up a little bit with a razor blade. Everything test fit fine. It's pretty tight on the top. It's really centered. I mean, almost perfect. Not too bad for a couple old rednecks, but. All right, so this hole turned out perfect. That hole's got a little bit of flaking on the edge of it. That one, see that little bit right there? And those 2. So we're gonna glue that back down with a little semi-clear fingernail polish. Of course, the backrest will be covering all of that up. I just don't want that to keep on. I don't want that to keep spreading. So just as a precaution. All right, got her all mounted up. Looking pretty centered. All right, the hard part's over with. Now the fun part. We're going to remove this Amazon $100 to $125 trunk, which I actually thoroughly enjoy. You say what you want, but I like the profile. See, it doesn't hang way off the back here. It's nice and clean, straight up on the back. The one thing I don't like about Harley baggers is the trunk hanging way off the back. That's just not my style. It's fine for you, fine for anybody else. That's how they come. That's how they was designed. I don't care for it. It's just me. I like a nice straight down the back. So we're gonna pull this one off, get the bracket, get this trunk off the bracket, get that one measured and lined up, because once again, Nasty Hog didn't bother to put any indents on the inside of that trunk, so we're just gonna have to line it up, mark it, and drill it. Would have been nice to have some instructions or a template or some holes pre-marked or something. Just saying. We got the bracket off the bike, and I guess blue tape up there, make sure everything's good to go. Now what we did was just go ahead and do the back two, tighten them, go ahead and tighten them down real good, make sure everything was nice and straight, and then mark these and drill these with the bracket on it. Mounting this trunk on a touring frame. Touring frame is a little wider, so everything's set perfect back here, but the holes on this end are just a little bit on the end. There's a little ridge on the inside. All right, as I was saying before the battery died, on the touring frame, the frame is obviously wider, not so narrow. So we ended up with one hole just on the outside of this ridge, and then these holes just on the top of this ridge. Also the bracket, the spacing for the slots are separate. So let's get it all finished up and we'll go get done with this thing. So we got our fender washers in here, spread the weight out. I had to modify these because they were just a little too close. A little too close to the edge. But we got her mounted up there. And of course it wouldn't be as good as like a proper plate, but again, this trunk wasn't exactly designed for a touring frame. FXR, wide glide, softail. I seen this bike on a softail clip. But fits on a touring frame too. Push the lock down, lock, push the lock down, shut. Ready to get in it, flip it up, old school Harley stuff, no big deal. And it keeps the profile of the bike nice and upright on the back, like I like, nothing hanging off the back. And one of the biggest reasons I wanted to change trunks from the Amazon Buddy Bezos trunk, I really like that trunk, I do. Fits a lot of the stuff I need, it's small, but you can only get one helmet in it. However, Nasty Hogs, 2 full-size helmets inside the trunk. Don't mind the wire. Not super stoked about the wire. Honestly, I wish it was a little less, and I can fix that. That's not a big deal. For $300 with no mount bracket, no instructions, no template, not already bolted together, no rack. I understand things are a little more expensive than what they used to be, but $300 for that trunk seems a little bit high. Still, do I think it's worth the money? It looks good. And it absolutely has the profile that I'm looking for. Straight down the back.